Should you quit your job and go full time into property and go straight in, jump in at the deep end and go 100% commitment to property? Or should you maintain your day job and do this as a side hustle to build this up? That's a common question. A lot of people ask this all the time, whether they should just give up their day job. Ultimately, I have to think about what is it we're trying to achieve. And often it's a case where you're trying to create enough income from property so you don't have to do the day job. But if you quit the day job, then the benefits of that is actually you've got a lot more time. You can focus, spend all that time and energy now looking at property and doing property deals. However, the challenge with giving up your day job is if you're looking to raise finance, for example, if, for example, you need to raise a mortgage, now you don't have an income. So your mortgageability drops, i.e. you're less attractive to lenders because you don't have an income to service that debt, particularly if you're starting out and this is your first property. When it comes to making money from property, first of all, we need to formulate a strategy. Which method are we going to follow? Which methodology we're going to use in order to make money from property? Then it's going out and implementing that. Now, depending on where you are already in terms of knowledge, time, skill, experience, all these things, that will really drive how quickly you start producing a result. Now, let's say you're just starting out and you haven't really got any experience. You're probably going to take a little bit longer to get that first result. It could be 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, depending on which strategy that you're following. So there'll be a period of time, if you're doing this full time, that you've got no income coming in, yet you still need to keep a roof over your head, you need to put food on the table, but you've given up your day job. So there's that to consider. Now, there's also, in my experience, some of the most successful people that I've met that do property as a side hustle, they tend to be super focused in the few hours they have. So for example, it might be an hour before work or 3 hours in an evening or just the weekends. But because they have less time, they are much more focused and productive in that time. Parkinson's law states that the task you're doing will expand to fill the time they have available. So let's say, you're studying, you have an assignment that you need to complete and you need to get it in, and you've got a deadline that it needs to be in by Monday morning. And you've got all weekend to do it. Now, it might be that you spend the weekend doing it and you could probably do it in a couple of hours, but because you're working on it, you're trying to improve it, it might be you end up spending most of the weekend doing it and you produce that particular piece of work. Other times, people will leave it to the very last minute and spend the hour doing it and getting it done. But what that ultimately means is because you had more time, you utilize more time. And if you had less time, you'd probably still be able to get it done in that time frame and produce a similar result, but you've saved a huge amount of time. So this is a mistake that many people make when they start property full time, is because they're not really that organized. They're doing little bits of this and a little bit of that. And what they're doing, those tasks start filling up their day where actually they're not really being productive or producing the results. So in my view, if you're already working full time, I would encourage you to continue working full time and do this as a side hustle until you can start building it up to a certain level where it's starting to bring you enough income to maybe keep your head afloat, to keep your roof over you, to keep food on the table, and then transition over to doing property full time at that point. Hey, if you're enjoying these Saj daily videos, then what I'd like you to do is click on my face over here to subscribe to the channel, and also click on the bell in order to get the notifications when these videos are being released. Then what to do next is click on this video here, and I'll see you over here on this video next.